Last time I did a 3D printed butterfly knife. This time I bring you the Counter-Strike karambit. All you will need for this project is paper, glue, and a craft knife, and possibly a printer. Start by making several sheets of hardened paper. The particular paper I'm using is 110-pound cardstock, but for a project this size, the type of paper shouldn't matter, as long as the template we make can stand on its own. Start gluing the hardened paper back to back as shown, until you make a template that is rigid enough to stand on its own. For 110-pound cardstock, I went with 4 layers. Make 2 of these templates, then set them underneath heavy books and let them dry overnight. Check the description for a link to the cut sheet that I've provided. Download and print this out, then tape it to the template and use it as a cutting guide. Keep in mind that the grip is also drawn with the blade, so you may need to print 2 of these. Start cutting the parts out using a craft knife. You might have noticed that on this cut sheet that I've also included printouts for a balisong. I have a separate tutorial for that if you're interested. The ring is a bit more difficult to cut out with a craft knife. To make this easier, I have a tool called a bridge compass. This particular compass is made by X-Acto, and instead of having a pencil lead for a tip, it has a razor blade. Once you have all these parts cut out, now would be the time to paint them if you want to. For this particular knife, I'll be doing the crimson web skin. Check the description if you want a copy of this. If you're skinning this knife, simply trace the shape of the blade and cut it out from the printout. Then apply glue to the blade as shown, and simply glue it into place. The only thing left to do now is to use more glue and assemble all the pieces. A small project like this is very beginner friendly, as it isn't very time consuming, and it isn't very picky about what type of paper you use. A lot of other knives and daggers can be built this way. If you're up for a challenge, here's a link to my balisong tutorial. Or you can go back to playing Dust 2. Either way, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already for more tutorials like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter where I post updates on works in progress.